Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathy and today I'm going to work on some rosettes. I had a couple people ask me how to make those. I did have another video where I briefly showed how to make these. It was in some tags that I was making. So I'm going to show you today from start to finish how I make them. I'm trying to tie this knot and I'm doing a miserable job. So what you will need for these little rosettes, and these are out of crepe. That is such a bad job of tying a knot. You want to tie a nice knot big enough that it's not going to go through your paper. Of course, I've been doing a terribly messy job here. I'm sure you'll do much better than I did. Now, hopefully I'm on camera because I can't see, and hopefully we'll just try to stay over in this. Well, you know what? Let me see, how's this gonna work? Over here, I guess that's good. Okay. Okay, so what you're gonna need is some crepe paper. I'm doing Memorial Day tags and also some 4th of July tags. So I have the red and blue. The tags I'm making, just to give you an idea of how these rosettes are going to work, this is about 3.5 inches by, well, this one's 4 3/4 inches. So you want to determine how big you want your rosettes, because I do cut these 1/4 inch around, and I'll show you how I do that. But if you have a bigger tag or whatever you're using, you don't need to cut it. So just remember that. But let me just tell you what else we need. So you need the crepe paper. You need something to cut little circles with, like this. It doesn't have to be scalloped. This just happens to be a scalloped hole puncher. This one is 1.5 inches. I think a 1 inch would also work, but this one is 1.5 inches. And then you will need thread and a needle and thread, a ruler or something to measure, and of course some scissors. And I'm also going to use some of these little scissors. I haven't tried the other scissors. I have a lot of fancy scissors. I should have tried those too. But these are some old pinking shears that I had from my mother. These are like ancient. This is made in Japan, but it's very, very old. I wouldn't even be, yeah, it's almost antique, I think. But I'm going to be using that. And I think that is it. So let's get started. So on these, now I did cut some out. I cut some out. And you could use solid colors. You could use 2 colors. Let me just show you some finished ones first of all. I just did this one last night. And that's what the little circles are for, is to hold these together. And I just hot glue them. You're not going to see these, at least I'm not going to see them, because I cover these up with my little, little picture here, my image. But I still put a pretty one on the front, and I just use a plain one in the back, because this one's just going to be glued down to your project. So that is one that I just did last night. These are the finished little tags that I made. This one I put little glitter around it. I use stickles, gold stickles. I always use 4 layers. This one is plain. And this one I use the scalloped scissors. They're actually called pinking shears. And see the little blue peeks through there? I really like that. So that's what we're gonna do. I think that'll be the first one that I do today. Let's see how long it takes me to do it. So now I did cut out 4 strips. They're 11 inches. Yeah, 11 inches. And these, I believe I already cut them down. Let me see. I was going to show you from start. Okay, I did cut these. Do I have some that I didn't? Well, let's just do it from scratch. If you're making the rosettes bigger, you can do 12 inches. But for the project that I'm doing, I find 11 inches works really well. So I just folded this in half. Oops. That's 11 inches. And we'll get the blue ones. Oops. Okay, so there's my strips. I'll even these out later. So let me just cut that there. Make these 11 inches. And then you're going to put them together and try to make them as even as you can on the bottom. I also try to make these line up here the best that I can. And you could always fix it later. See, like here, it's, I don't know how I measure terribly, don't I? Okay, so we'll trim that off, make it even. And like I said, hopefully I'm still in camera. And then I just fold this twice. And then again, make sure it's kind of even on the bottom. And then I just cut off about a 1/4 inch. I don't measure, but I'm gonna say it's about a 1/4 inch here that I cut. This just works good for my project. Like I said, you don't have to cut it if you don't want to. And I wanna do this one with a scallop, but let's use the blue on top this time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the blue one, I'm gonna cut it just a little bit more with the pinking shears. And you can fold this in half. I'm just gonna fold this in half. I'm not gonna do it like I did the other one in 4s. And then just get your pinking shears or your scallop scissors, whatever you're gonna use, and just cut. I just try to line up those little edges there. And there you go. So that just gives it a little bit of, a little bit shorter and helps. So it's gonna peek through. And then you're gonna line it up again. And don't worry if it's not perfect, you know, because this is gonna be, it's very forgiving once you sew these together. I do like the ends to be lined up as best as can be. Okay, because then we're gonna start sewing. So I have my thread, I have my needle threaded, and now if I can, oh, here it is. So if I can just find my needle. And I did use, I doubled it up, the thread. You can use any color. You're gonna hide this. If you wanna use white so you can see it better, that'll work. I probably should sew on the red part so we could see it, see what I'm doing better. I just so happen to have the black thread. And you're just going to, I'm gonna have to line this up again. You're just gonna sew it. And you're gonna sew it probably in about a 1/4 inch. And again, I don't measure it, I just guess. And you're just gonna make like a running stitch. And you can try to make these as even as you can. It makes a nicer rosette. That I'm not in for perfection. I'm just, like I said, once it's all put together, all the perfections seem to magically go away. So anyways, let's do this. I might speed the camera up a little bit so I don't bore you to death. Oops. I hope everybody's doing good today. I know there's been a lot of bad weather out there. I hope everybody's staying safe. It's pretty warm here. I think we're going to get in the 90s today. And the winds are supposed to pick up. Oh, that wind. I don't mind the heat as much, but the wind is just... Because we have a swimming pool, so when it gets windy, it blows everything in the pool. Because everything is blooming right now. The Palo Verde trees are almost done, I think. But they bloom these little yellow flowers, and they're just... The yellow flowers are everywhere, and they get in the pool. So it just gives us more work to do. Okay, we're almost at the end here. I'll show you what we do at the end. I should plug in my, here when I get to the very end, I'm gonna plug in my glue gun. Okay, so let me just get this really quick so it's ready. Okay, that should heat up quickly. Okay, so we're at the end now. And what I do when I get to the end, you want to pull it. Don't pull it too tight that you're going to break it. Just pull it. Now you have your little rosette it has formed. And what I do is I take these last two little pieces here and I sew those together. This is how I do it. There's probably people who do it differently, but this is the way I find easy for me. So I sew those together. Try to get this where it's not going to get tangled. This is very old thread. I just found this in a tin that I bought. It's on the old wooden spool, but it's really nice, strong thread. And then anyways, then I take the other two over here. I know this looks like a hot mess, but believe me, once it's all done, then I kind of go over and grab those two ends there, and I'm sewing those or attaching those, and then I'm going to sew those two together on the other side, and then I will sew I'll grab one of these little loops and then stick it in on the other side. And there. Now these are what really going to hold it together, so you don't have to be too concerned. And you know, when you see this, you're like, wait a minute, that's not going to hold together. It will. It will. And I just kind of, with my nail, I kind of crease these a little bit more, make them a little bit more even. Okay. And don't worry about this open end, because once everything's put together, you're not going to see that. If you want to, you can put like a little dab of glue there if you want, but it's really not necessary. At the bottom, you'll see that this one sticks out here, and you could just cut that off. It's not that important because this part's going to be glued onto the project that I'm working. The back, you know, it's going to be glued on like that. So let's see if my glue is ready. So yeah, so what I do is I just cut out these are scalloped circles. I need to get some more of these hole punchers, but I just cut out these little circles. And this is going to reinforce my rosette. Let's see if this is hot yet. Okay, and I put the pretty side on the front, even though you're not going to see it, but just in case you are going to see it. So, oops, it's getting there. It's still a little bit cold. And you try to center it the best you can. I know I don't always get it centered right, but just kind of center it the best you can on your little rosette. So that's one side, and then the back side. I'm gonna do this again. Try not to burn yourself. There, and it's all done. You You know what? I did it on the wrong side, so this should have gone on this side because this is the side I want to see. That's why I was, this is okay though. This is okay. I did it backwards. I should have sewed this side, the blue side, but I wanted to see it. But it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be fine. Now, sometimes you'll notice that it might be just a little bit uneven here. And if it is, all you got to do is trim it with your scissors. This one isn't really bad, but you can, if it bothers you, you can trim it up a little bit. It's not a perfect circle, but that's okay. And once you do your project, whatever you're going to put this on, I use hot glue usually, put it on there. Once you're all done, you could put, I keep forgetting it's gonna go this way. You could put the stickles, and I didn't bring it with me, but you could put like little glitter around there if you wanted to, which is really nice. And then if you want to, you can fluff these up a little bit if you want them to stick up. You can do that with all of these just to make them a little more poofy. See if we can get in there. But yeah. There, that's all there is to it. There, it's kind of nice. It makes it just a little poofier on the side. You don't have to do that, but if you wanted to, you could. I'm just sorry that I didn't put the fancy one in the front. But yeah, that's how you make your rosettes. As you can see, it's not very round, but that's okay. Because like I said, I'm going to glue this on a project. So that's all you do. I'm not going to show it again because it's very simple. So we have this one. We have this one. See, this one's even larger. Not much. And if you want them fluffier, you can do more than one. You could make one really small, one large, and you could glue it together if you want to. There's different things you can do. So these are the finished ones that I used in my project. Again, I'll show you. I used the stickles on this one. This is how it looks on the side. This one, I just left it plain. The reason I left this one plain is because I put the glitter here, and I just didn't want to go overboard on the glitter. And then this one, I love it. This has the scalloped, I keep calling it scalloped, but this is with the pinking shears and letting a little blue peek through. So there you have it. That's how you make the little rosettes. If you have any questions or comments, please put it down below in the description or in the comment section. I love reading comments. If you have any other tips for me, that is great too. And let's see, what else? I can't think of anything else. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel and you can hit the like button. And I guess that's all I have to say. I will be selling these on my live sale. I have a sale Thursday, which is tomorrow. And I sell a lot of vintage items, home decor, and sometimes crafted items. Like I'll sell these little tags. So that's on my other channel, Picasso Cat. I will put the link down below in the description. And that's going to be at 3 o'clock Eastern on my channel. And I'm going to have Becky with Becky's Vintage and More. She's going to join me. So Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern on my channel. So thank you for watching. And until next time, I can't talk today. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.